If you would have asked me a week before I met Susan, you want to get married? I would have been like, oh my God, what do you think? You're crazy? I'm not gonna get married. And then I met Susan, and everything changed. I look at her and I say to my mom, oh my gosh, who's this? And she says, this is my friend's daughter. And then I don't know what happened, man. I've never felt like that before. I saw her. I'm like, I gotta talk to her. I added her on Facebook that night. I requested her on Facebook, and we, started talking. And and a few days later, I went to see her at college. And that's pretty much it. We talked and dated for a while, and then we decided to get married.
I met Susan because she had gone to high school with my ex, and so that's how we originally met and were friends. And we outgrew our house as the children became teenagers, and so just having known Susan for several years, it was a natural move into, we'd like to move, can you help us sell our house and find a new home? My marriage began to unravel, and there was some anger that came into it, and the situation just got to a point where I was no longer able to stay. And so without making any decisions about what we would do with the house or anything, I simply moved out and started the process of getting divorced. That was a really hard time in my life, and in the process of that, in talking to my ex, it became clear that neither one of us could stay in the house just for financial purposes, and so we made the decision to sell.
We had a small house on the lake, but we had a lot of property, so we ended up putting on an addition that was larger than the house. Went through kind of a rough divorce, and I ended up with this big 3,000 square foot house on a lake, a beautiful house that I had planned to retire in, and I was there by myself with just my pension. So I struggled for quite a while. I put it up for sale with the idea that, houses usually don't take very long. This is a beautiful house right on the lake, and the payments on the house for me by myself were more than I really had coming in. So I was struggling trying to keep the payments going until I could get it sold.
And that's when we met Susan, and thank goodness, we looked around and we got the best house. We got something that we couldn't even really imagine. It was a very, very easy experience. I think we looked at maybe 7 or 8 houses, and then we found this one, and we said, this is it.
I really wanted someone who I knew not only would take care of the business end of selling our home, but that would also provide comfort and support when times were hard, and be able to communicate with both of us, agreeing in our discussions. We had asked Susan if she would be willing to always email both of us on everything that came up, so that we were both aware and not talk to either person ahead of the other. And if there was a need for a phone call, to do a 3-way call, all of which Susan agreed to do and did very well, which gave her a little bit of extra work to handle that, and she took that on and upheld her end of the bargain in spades.
And it was really stressful trying to go through all that. And then I met Susan. Susan was the leader of our small group at church, and she was a real estate agent that I found out. She said, well, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm just struggling. I said, can you make this a prayer request that my house sells pretty soon? And I said, because I'm running out of pension of my retirement investments. I've been taking money out of there. I've been putting money on charge cards to try and keep the payments up to date until it's sold, and then figuring I'd pay it back after that. And she said, well, don't do that. Stop doing that. She says, we can take care of that with a short sale. I had 2 other real estate companies doing this, and nobody mentioned short sales at all. I had no idea there was such a thing.
This is such a big decision. This is such a big thing, especially for a couple like us. I've never owned a home, and she's never owned one. We didn't know how the process works, the paperwork and everything else. I trusted Susan, when she sent me the paperwork to sign and to do all these things. I trusted her, and I know that she looked everything over, and I know she's looking to do the best for us, and that's what we're looking for. There's so many realtors out there. There's so many people out there. You got to find you somebody that you can trust. I was shocked because sometimes I'll email her at work at 4 in the morning, and next thing I know, at 5 o'clock, there's a response back. So I even told her, like, do you even sleep?
We had, on the first day of showings, had 15 showings and 3 offers, and we closed, in a very timely fashion, following all the stages that were necessary.
Both my first and second mortgage were paid off through the short sale. It's basically an agreement with the bank that we'll take whatever we can get on this and let you off the hook for what you owe on it. Susan took the load right off my shoulders. It was really a help. In fact, Susan was even so generous, she let me rent a room in her basement for a short while I looked for another place to live. So I don't know of any other real estate agents that would do that.
Life is great. Susan continues to reach out to me, beyond the business relationship, just to check in, see how I'm doing. Working with Susan has just been just one of the best positive experiences of my life.
Every time we pull in the driveway, like, oh my God, this is beautiful. Oh my God, is this ours really?
No, we like our house. It's comfy. It's just the size we want. It has everything we want. So we just want to start our life here.
I definitely enjoy it.